Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, AfroMattt, and this is episode 101. 101, it is the New Year's, not the New Year's Eve, but the New Year episode. This is January 1st. Let's see. Today we were drinking on some Red Bull because I'm tired as hell from last night. Damn, that's some good ASMR. First off, I want to say, now that we're done with season, I call them seasons, whatever. Just the year of the podcast. So this is the first episode of season 3. If you've made it this far, if you've listened to most of the episode, I want to thank you a lot. If you've told other people about the podcast, I want to thank you even more. And if you're new here, I want to say welcome, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Usually what we do is getting right into this. I am on a beanbag on the floor, and I do look homeless. So that is kind of the vibe that we've tried to manifest with this podcast. Let's just get right into the news. Usually, sometimes I'll share an anecdote, but I have no. Actually, I do have an anecdote. Yesterday was New Year's Eve, so for New Year's Eve, we went to a comedy club, and it was pretty fun. It was good. The opener was it's kind of weird because these are they're professional comedians, so their job is to make you laugh. But when the people that become comedians are so depressing, it's just sad. Like this guy was telling us, he was an ex-cop. And he was a cop for 25 years, and these are the kinds of people that become cops. He was telling us, he's like, when I graduated high school, I had a 0.24 GPA. He's like, and then he told us some cop stories. I'm like, yeah, so when you do have 0.24 GPA, you do become a cop. That's kind of solidified my speculation of, becoming a cop is kind of the last leg of the race for some people. It's where you go to give up. Overall, it was a really good performance. I enjoyed it a lot. All right, now let's go into the news. We got a lot of news today, guys. Lots and lots of news. Juicy news. Alrighty, let's get into this. Alrighty, so starting off, of course, is I haven't been following it on this podcast, but I have been following it in real life. The Idaho murder. They have found who they think is responsible. So this guy, the Idaho murder sparks speculations about Brian Kohberger is his name. Let's see if this guy has anything to say about it. Police arrested a suspect on Friday in connection with the 4 University of Idaho murders. Promoting speculation around a crime study that the individual may have posted. Brian Christopher Kohberger, 28, was arrested by law enforcement in Pennsylvania on Friday following a warrant for first-degree murder charges issued by the Moscow Police Department. On November 13th, the Moscow Police Department said that 4 college students, blah, 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 looks like most of them are freshmen, were fatally stabbed in an off-campus residence. Following the arrest, numerous social media users shared screenshots of a Reddit account speculating that it belonged to Kohberger. The screenshots featured a post discussing a crime study. Now, Kohberger was studying crime investigation, CSI type forensics shit, and that's what he had a degree in. And he posted on Reddit to crowdsource. What was his Reddit post? See, Brian Let's see if there's no way it's still on Reddit. Brian Koberger Reddit post. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh. It was posted on r/x/cons as an ex-convict. Here's what he said. My name is Brian. I'm inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. In particular, the study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense, with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. In the event that your most recent offense was not one that led to your conviction, you may still participate. Additional surveys may include are included after your open-ended section as to best understand your unique traits. The study should take about 15 to 20 minutes to fully complete. Your identity and all answers provided to me are completely confidential, and the link to the survey is also an anonymous link. This research has been approved by DeSales University IRB. Participants be 18-year-olds, blah, blah, blah. If you opt in to participate, you may terminate your participation at any time for any reasons, blah, 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 blah. Student investigator Brian Koberger at BK5781 at dsales.edu. So that's his. So this is Brian Koberger. Obviously, he put his name in the bottom. So he was. This is how psycho he is. He crowdsourced, and this wasn't too long ago. He crowdsourced individuals to find out how they felt when they were committing their crimes. I mean, that is the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life. It's not even cool. Like, serial killers aren't even cool anymore. Like, they used to be kind of like hot, mysterious type people. Like, you had the Daniel Rodriguez, I think was his name. He was like this hot guy. He was kind of like a... People were throwing... There was girls who would, like, they would load him in the car and they would, like, throw their panties at him. And, like, bras. They would just throw... There was, like, so much, like, mystique and, you know, ambiguousness. And it was dangerous. And the people were unhinged. It almost felt like, you know, there was more passion. It was an art for them, you know? And this guy, he's just another level of freak. This guy's he's crowdsourcing how it feels to kill people, to commit crimes. I mean, I guess he did this survey for his school and he got back, I guess the results of the thing must have concluded that it felt pretty good because he went ahead and did it. At least that's my conclusion, is that he got enough people that said, it feels so good to take a life, and he just had to try it out for himself to complete the study. He had to get firsthand experience. I mean, obviously it's horrific what he did. I mean, stabbing 4 people. The dude's a monster, and I mean, I don't even want him to get the death penalty because I want him to get raped in prison over and over again. Like, the death penalty is like letting people off. I don't really even stand for the death penalty because I think that's like an easy way out. But it's not even painful. And if you do make it painful, then it's like, well, now we're just torturing people. In some cases, I don't know, but yeah, it's fucked up. But they got the guy. They think that this is the guy. I don't know if they have him in custody, and they're pretty sure it's been about a couple weeks. They found him. They're pretty sure they were searching for a white sedan. And they found him, and they assume they're pretty sure that this is the guy. So it's being speculated that this Reddit post was made by Brian Koberger, the suspect arrested in 4 murders. This is sending chills down my spine. Twitter user, blah blah blah. The Reddit post titled "Research Participation Needed" goes to ask users to help with a crime study. Okay, I just read that one. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. The post goes on to state that your answers and identity are survey will remain anonymous. Yeah. If Brian is the suspect in custody in the Idaho murders, it's really creepy about seeing what he posted in May of this year on Reddit. That's crazy. This guy's crowdsourcing. Dude, this guy's so gay. So gay. Like, he's crowdsourcing ideas on how to, like, come on, dude. Like, it's just so methodical and robotic. And it's like, it's almost become corporate. Like, murdering people has almost become corporate. Like, you got to get the numbers. You got to test out the thumbnail on YouTube. You've got to see how the numbers work out. You got to try to play up to the algorithm. You got to post it on Reddit. You got to get it crowdsourced. You got to get the feedback. And then you've got to commit the crime. Like, this is so gay. And I don't mean gay as in, like, this guy's actually homosexual. Like Jeffrey, what was his name? What was that guy who killed people? Palmer? Was it Palmer? Jeffrey Palmer? Palmer. It wasn't Palmer, was it? Jeff Bomber? Wait. Serial killer. I know. Jeff Dunham. Wait. Wait. Jeffrey Dahmer, not Palmer. Okay. Jeffrey Dahmer. That's the guy. That guy was actually gay. No, this guy's like it's just weird that he has to, like, just imagine this psychopath. This literal psychopath has a spreadsheet on his monitor of all the, like, emotions, keywords that people used, and he's like formulating what it feels like to murder someone, and that data isn't enough for him, so he's like, I got to do it myself. Like, this is the new breed of, and I know he's not a serial killer, he's just I mean, he probably would have killed more, I don't know, but like, this new breed is just so lame. It's just like, just weird. I don't think it's just me who thinks it's weird. Like, that is just, like, weird. And he just goes and stabs them up. Like, stabs them 20 times. The dude's unhinged. Netflix is obviously already working on a Netflix, maybe a mockumentary or like a docudrama series where they have, like, some hot hunk playing the dude. It's kind of like Euphoria. He goes to college. There's people in his class that kind of suspect him. They'll probably get true accounts of what he was like in class and stuff, and maybe they'll hire a couple of the students that were actually in class with him, and they'll be like, hey, we want you to just play the part of yourself. Just be yourself, how you were in class, and he'll be here, and we'll be just exploiting your trauma and the life consequences of actually knowing a mass murderer. It's 100% being worked on right now. I mean, I guarantee it. There hasn't been anything out yet, but it's obviously going to happen. There's podcasts. I mean, I'm making a podcast about it, but my podcast isn't primarily about this. There's podcasts being built right now about this one murder. There's so many podcasts out there that are like murder, and it's just about one murder. Like, they have 200 episodes of the OJ trial, and they go through every single piece, and every episode's like 30 minutes long, and you find out one snippet of him. It's honestly, quite frankly, retarded, but let's move on to more news. We have some interesting news on Jeffrey Epstein. If you know this channel, this podcast, we've been keeping a close eye on the Jeffrey Epstein trial, just because I get no one else really cares for some reason. No one cares that the world's biggest, longest going, most successful in that sense, underage sex trafficker, that this whole trial is still, the people that participated in this are still out there. One dude died doesn't mean that the case is closed. So I try to keep an eye on it. And Epstein's sex trafficking was aided by J.P. Morgan in a U.S. Virgin's lawsuit. They found this out. This was on December 30th. The government of the U.S. Virgin Isles alleges in a lawsuit filed this week that J.P. Morgan Chase turned a blind eye to evidence that disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein used the banks to facilitate sex trafficking activities on Little St. James, the private island he owned in the territory until 2019, till his 2019 suicide. In the more than 100-page complaint filed by U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General Denise George in the Southern District of New York in Manhattan on Tuesday, the territory alleges that J.P. Morgan failed to report Epstein's suspicious activities and provided the financier with services reserved for high-wealth clients after his 2008 conviction for soliciting a minor for prostitution. So so Jeffrey Epstein in 2008 was convicted of soliciting a minor for prostitution in Palm Beach, Florida. So I don't know how he wasn't a registered sex offender for the rest of his life and how he rose to power. Like, none of the things. Now this is a crime podcast I would listen to every episode on. And that's, I mean, kind of what this podcast is, but it's not about that. We just happen to talk a lot about it. How did someone like Jeffrey Epstein become so influential if in 2008, before he rose to the megla socialite elite playmaker that he became, I mean, J.P. Morgan, obviously J.P. Morgan have access to all of his bank statements. If they're seeing, like, imagine it's like a Cash App that says for child, and they're just like, well, that's chill. And also J.P. Morgan, they'll turn a blind eye to sex trafficking, but the second Kanye West said he doesn't like Jews, they drop him instantly. I mean, say what you will, but that seems a little bit on the hypocritical side of things, wouldn't you say, J.P. Morgan Chase? A little bit. The complaint says that Territory's Department of Justice investigation revealed that J.P. Morgan knowingly, neglectedly, and unlawfully provided and pulled the levers through which recruiters and victims were paid, and was indispensable to the operation and concealment of Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking enterprise. So, wow, I mean, lo and behold, one of the world's biggest banks was tied up in Jeffrey Epstein's affairs. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thought that the island in which several presidents, elites, world's richest people, somehow J.P. Morgan knew about it? I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how. I mean, what are the chances that J.P. Morgan, one of the largest banks, knew anything about Jeffrey Epstein's island? No matter how rich the billionaires that run J.P. Morgan are, they didn't know anything. They can't be. Look, you can't hold it against J.P. Morgan Chase for just not doing their job good enough. Maybe instead of turning a blind eye, they're just bad at their job. Ever think about that? That's the benefit of hiring, like, stupid people. So when you hire stupid people to do the job, then you have, like, plausible deniability. You can be like, well, I mean, this guy, we hired him to check all Jeffrey Epstein stuff, and then, like, the camera turns over to the dude, and the dude's like, I don't know, eating crayons. He's just eating a tub of Play-Doh. It's like, we hired this guy. It's like an actual homeless person just at a desk. They set up the homeless man at a desk. He's like, he's just cracked out, but at, like, in a cubicle This is the guy. This is the guy that we hired to watch all of Jeffrey Epstein's stuff. And we told them, hey, if you see any suspicious activity, let us know. Let us know. And obviously he didn't do a job, and we're firing him now. But you know, so I mean, nothing will probably come from this, but I found it interesting that JP Morgan Chase is being wrapped up in this. They're going to have to try to finagle their way out, which they will, because you can't pin it on anyone. I mean, it's like when the market crashed in 2008. Like 4 people will go to jail, and then everyone else who exploited the ninja loans, that's ninja is no income, no job. Imagine buying a home with no income, no job. Ninja loans, subprime mortgages, all the people that exploited that are I mean, scot-free. It's a messed up world we live in. It's a messed up world we live in. Let's continue on with more news. The Pope, the old Pope, not the new Pope, old Pope. I'm still getting over the cold from last episode. Pope Benedict, and that looks like the 16th, has died at age 95. Now this guy looks like a real pedo. Like, if you showed me a picture of this person and said, this guy, sorry, this chair is like losing its stuffing. This guy's responsible for millions and millions of kids in the Catholic Church being molested. I'd say, 1, was it him personally? Because I'd believe that. But 2, yeah, I mean, he just looks like a I don't even know what I was saying. He looks like he touches kids. Is what I was saying. He does. It's actually crazy how much he looks like. If you drew someone who looks like they touch kids, this guy looks like him. He's got like, he's just got a creepy look about him. Okay, so scrolling through this, I noticed the word Nazi, so I'm going to read this real quick. Pope Benedict XVI was born Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger on April 16th, 1927, in Germany. Coming of age in Germany as the Nazi Party seized power, Benedict's past often garnered heavy scrutiny. He was drafted into the anti-air during World War II and joined the Hitler Youth as a teenager when enrollment was compulsory. However, it's widely believed that his involvement with the Nazis was more a result of the time and place as opposed to ideological sympathies. And we're going to act like he doesn't have a couple of those opinions still? Okay. Neither Benedict nor his family were Nazi Party members, and his father, a policeman, was reportedly demoted for his anti-Nazi stances. Okay, well that's kind of based. After World War II, Benedict enrolled in the seminary, studied philosophy and theology. He was ordained as a priest. I don't really know how one becomes a pope. I thought the pope was chosen at birth. Like, once one pope died, he was like reincarnated, and then there was a new pope as a child. I thought that's how that worked. I thought the pope was selected like the Avatar from not the new Avatar, the blue one, but no, the one with the bald head and the arrow, where the Avatar is chosen when the old one dies. I thought that's how the Avatar. I thought that's how the pope was chosen. This just shows how much I know about Catholicism. Honestly, how is the Pope chosen? That's a good question. How is the Pope chosen? I was under the impression that a Pope that a pope had to, like, as a baby, they laid out some toys in front of it, and the baby chooses like 3 toys, and then they're like, wow, that's exactly what the first pope picked. That baby is the new pope. Reincarnate. When a pope dies or resigns, the governance of the Catholic Church passes to the College of Cardinals. Cardinals are bishops and Vatican officials from all over the world personally chosen by the Pope, recognized by their distinctive red vestments. Their primary responsibility is to elect a new pope. Okay, following vacancy in the papacy, that's the popeship, the cardinals hold a series of meetings called General Congressions. They discuss the needs and the challenges facing the Catholic Church globally. They will also prepare for the upcoming papal election called the Conclave. Discussions that only the Pope can make, such as appointing a bishop and conveying the Synod of Bishops, must wait until after election. In the past, they've made arrangement for the funeral and burial of the deceased Pope. So it's less cool. It's less cool. It's just like a bunch of the Pope's friends choose a new Pope. So you have to make friends with all the... So the Cardinals are probably really the ones that are in power, because you have to suck up to the Cardinals. They seem to be the only ones who can vote on who the new Pope is. So you have to really butter up the Cardinals. And so the Cardinals seem almost like worse than the Pope. Like they're pulling the strings, because you have to suck up. If you want to be Pope, you have to convince the Cardinals, and that might mean turning a blind eye when they diddle 15 children, or, bringing them kids and stuff. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the fuck goes on in Catholicism. Honestly, I think it's about time that we take a serious step back from Catholicism and, just most hardcore religions in general. Take a deep breath and come back to, put a pin in it and come back to it in about 3 years and just reassess the situation. Take a step back, reorganize, reset up the whole system, right? We don't need popes and we don't need cardinals. If it's about God, then, does the Pope really talk to God? I don't think so. I don't think this guy talks to God. The only person this guy talks to is probably, you should probably talk to a therapist. I mean, he's dead now, but so apparently, as Pope, Benedict took hardline stances against divorce, women in the clergy, and artificial birth control. He was also staunchly opposed to gay marriage and long espousal controversy viewed on homosexuality. Back in the 80s, he helped author the document on the pastoral care of homosexual persons, which described homosexuality as more or less strong tendency towards an intrinsic moral evil. Well, this guy's kind of wild. As I read more into Pope Benedict, the more I realize, yeah, he's the textbook Pope. He's what the Pope should be. The Pope shouldn't be on Twitter tweeting, Black Lives Matter. With like the Pope right now. We have like a weird millennial old man Pope. This is what the Pope should be. Just some like white, rich guy who's just like screaming about shit he read in the Bible. Anti-gay, of course. Anti-divorce. As for handling the Catholic Church's vast sex abuse crisis, Benedict did more than his predecessor, though considering how little John Paul II did, that's not particularly hard. Well, Benedict issued apologies for child sex abuse perpetrated by clergy members and privately met with victims. I'm sure he did. While he reportedly defrocked 400 priests for sex abuse in his final year as what the hell is defrocked? Pope Benedict VI defrocked nearly 400 priests for child abuse. Well, for molesting children. If you have, look, all I'm saying is that if you have imagine imagine Catholicism as a business. Imagine it is JP Morgan Chase. Okay? Now imagine for a second the CEO has to come out and say, All right, guys. All right. All right. I did it. I finally fired 400 known child molesters in my cabinet on my that I employ. I finally did that, guys. Yay! Yes, I finally did that. I mean, how would the world see that? I mean, that is the most crazy shit in the world right now. We truly live in a society. We live in a society. So yeah, the Pope is dead. God riddance. May he rot in hell. Imagine you're in hell and you see the Pope walk in and you're like, your just eyes go wide, your jaw drops. You're like, oh shit. What are you in here for? He's like, well, um, I was just like pretty chill with a bunch of people molesting kids. I mean, the Catholicism's fucked up deeply. They touch a lot of kids. It's kind of a joke. And when your whole religion starts becoming a joke about touching kids, it's time to really rebrand. Catholicism should rebrand. They really do need a rebrand. They need to look into NFTs. They need to look into drop shipping. They need to look at direct to consumer content, right? They need to open up a website. You can buy a Bible direct to consumer. Or do a look, Pope, Pope, I know you're listening. Here's what you got to do. A monthly subscription service where every month you give them some good juice from Jesus. You can call it juice from Jesus. Jesus juice. Okay, we're making good notes here. Jesus juice. Every month you pay like $25, or you can stick with the 10% of your income. You know, I know how much the church loves their what's it called? Tithe. Yeah, they love their tithe over there. But you know, you get your tithe, you go in, you know, they pay you their tithe, and then you send them once a month. You send them a care package from Jesus, and it's curated by the Pope, and that's how you can market it. Market it as curated by the Pope Jesus merch, right? You send them sandals. You send them nails. You know, the nails as a reminder. You send them that cool Pope hat. You send them like small Pope hats that they can wear on their fingers, like a little finger puppet. The finger Pope. Finger Pope it. Finger Pope it. Dude, these ideas are, I mean, these might be the best ideas I've heard of my whole, I might have come up with the best idea I've ever had in my life. So the finger Pope it, and you've got like, you know, those cool nails, and you might have a nice little necklace, a leather strap necklace or something, with a cross on it. And then maybe you have a higher tier where, you know, you might get a gold cross or like a gold chain. You could send pamphlets of your recent, you know, maybe some recent speeches that you've done, transcribed, couple pamphlets, make them look pretty. You know, a little pocketbook someone can carry around with them in their back pocket, with some of the words from the Pope. You know, once a month you send them this care package. Maybe it comes with a brand new chapter of the Bible. Maybe, look, there's a lot of chapters of the Bible. Maybe you focus on one every month. Focus on a new, and it's like a read along, and you read along with the Pope, right? I mean, see, these ideas, you need to rebrand. You need to stop touching kids, and you need to start sending direct. You need you need to get people out of the church, and you need to bring the church to them. Okay, look, I'm helping you here. From one businessman to another. I'm taking that Gary V approach to Catholicism. All right, let's move on to, speaking of businessmen.
Boxer Andrew Tate facing legal trouble in Romania. The former reality TV star, along with his brother Tristan and 2 others, were apprehended Thursday in Bucharest on suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group, according to Reuters. Prosecutors say they found evidence that 6 women were abused, adding that the suspects were exploiting them and forcing them to make pornographic content. A lawyer representing the brothers confirmed the arrests and that a Romanian court agreed to keep Tate detained for 30 days, adding that he felt they were, quote, no grounds for taking the most drastic measures. The brothers had been under investigation since April, according to prosecutors. Tate, a former contestant on Big Brother.
Every single thing is going to change. Everyone who is friends now will not be friends 10 minutes after I arrive.
A self-described success coach,
welcome to the real world,
has amassed a massive social media audience, known for his misogynistic remarks and controversial opinions on masculinity. For example, this interview.
You think women are as smart as men?
Well, it's been proven that the smartest people in the world are men. Men are more likely to be on the extremes. So the most stupid people on the planet are men, and the most intelligent people on the planet are men. So this has all been proven.
By who?
Read the study.
What study, bro?
Google it.
His remarks clearly often provoking indignation. And they've
Well, you get an
him
idea.
banned.
I mean, at this point, if you don't know who Andrew Tate is, I mean, he was banned from Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Almost as controversial now as Kanye West, probably more. But he was arrested in Romania for alleged, and I will say alleged right now. And I don't mean to undermine the situation. Just, I believe in innocent until proven guilty, with everyone, with everyone. But yeah, it's not looking good for him. If they have stuff on him, yeah, it's rough. But I don't know where this is gonna go. Just wanted to keep you guys updated. Andrew Tate obviously denied the allegations. The charges follow a previously publicized investigation into Tate's from Romanian authorities. Yeah, the fact that he's he lives in Romania, it's not the coolest thing. It's a little suspicious. I don't know what that's about. Tate wrote that he had become a multimillionaire through his webcam studio in Romania. My job is to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'd do anything I'd say, and then I get her on webcam so we could become rich together. A lawyer for Tate didn't respond to the comment about the website's description. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of his whole thing. He was, big into getting girls to do OnlyFans and stuff. Which is interesting because, a lot of people... Dude, I look literally... When I'm in this pose, I look like I have, I look like, for one, I have no neck. I look like I have, what's that disease? It's like a degenerative disease. That kid from, I look like, is it no, it's not Parkinson's. It's that kid from freaking, Walter Jr. from Breaking Bad. Walter, open the door. That guy. I look like that guy when I lounge back in this chair because my shoulders go up and I have no meat on I'm bones. But I'll lean forward because I like it better. But so yeah, Andrew Tate, he's obviously I actually wrote on the AfroMattshow.com. The AfroMattshow.com. I actually wrote about Andrew Tate, and I don't remember what it was. This is when Andrew Tate was blowing up. So let me see. It's called Blue Bugatti, Andrew Tate. Nothing screams I beat Andrew like an Andrew Tate Andrew Tate fan. Okay, well there's that. We are witnessing a new pipeline rabbit hole forming in real time. For those of you who don't know, Andrew Tate is the man leading the manosphere. Manosphere is also an awesome word. The alpha men who do alpha stuff. He sells a course where you too can learn to be an alpha male and make alpha millions. His recent growth and popularity is cause for concern for many mothers, girlfriends, and other dumb broads. I mean, if you want to listen, this is my art displayed for you. This was in July 2022. So I post a lot of short essays. This one's really short. I propose a question. If the algorithm shows people what they want to see, why do people want to see an ex-MMA fighter trash talk women? It's a question not enough people are asking. Could it be that nowadays men feel emasculated, or do men feel like they need a father figure? Or perhaps no one truly knows what he's saying and his popularity is a Streisand effect? Or even better yet, and my personal bias, is that he's saying such outlandish things as he is compared to other entertainment and he is the most interesting thing on the internet. Besides, of course, the AfroMattt show. Either way, the events unfolding tell an interesting tale where people are at today, specifically women. No matter the century, at the end of the day, these women just can't seem to catch a break. So, I mean, go there, read for yourself. I'm not a big fan of Andrew Tate. I've never been a big fan. I found him funny. I mean, I found him funny for the way that he talked. It's just like when you say such outlandish things, it's hard to not find it funny, because it's like, dude, this guy's crazy, but it is what it is. Let's move on, but it'll be interesting to track to see. So for 30 days, 30 days from now, we'll find out if he gets out or not. He's being detained. Speaking about being detained, Bill Cosby plans to tour his comedy tour in 2023. Bill Cosby is eyeing to return to touring in 2023. The controversial comedian said as much during a surprise December 28th radio interview on WGH Talk with host Scott Spears. Cosby answered yes when asked if 2023 was the year he would finally begin to tour again. Cosby, now 85. He looks bad for 85. He looks pretty rough for 85. How many women is it now? How many women accused Cosby? This will be interesting. 60. 60 women accused Bill Cosby. Well, not enough, I guess. I mean, he's out touring. Imagine going to Cosby. I think it would be funny to go to Cosby, to go watch Cosby perform. Like, he's obviously a talented entertainer. He's been doing it his whole life. He's been in movies. He's been in front of the camera. He's been on stage his whole life. I'm interested to see what his material is. Some of his new material could be pretty good. He could have some nice prison stories. He could have maybe a couple stories about some of the maybe some of the stories from in the courtroom during the proceedings. He could have some good material there to work with. Imagine he just goes back to his old stuff. He just starts doing his old material again. It's just like super weird. Hey. What is that, Bill Cosby? Hey. What does that sound like? Cosby. Hey, it's Fat Albert. Here he is.
Shout Factory.
Hey, it's Fat Albert, and I'm gonna sing a song for you.
Hey, it's Fat Albert. You know, it's fun. It's fun. Bill Cosby's gonna be back out there doing Fat Albert bits. Look here. He's looking for spring/summer to start touring. Earlier this month, 5 women filed a sexual assault lawsuit against NBC and Bill Cosby. The women alleged that Cosby either raped them or forced them into sexual acts. 4 of the allegations date back to the 1980s and 1990s, when the actor was on the height of his fame at the star of The Cosby Show. The 5th allegation involves Sindra Ladd, the former Hollywood executive who had accused Cosby of raping her in 1969. Wyatt, his lawyer, called the lawsuit frivolous and said that the women were part of a parade of accusers who had come. Yeah, they're a bunch of liars. 60, 70, 80, 100. It's easy for that many people to get together and try to steal money. They have a lot to gain from that. Yeah. I mean, this is, look, and I know the whole, Andrew Tate's thing was, break out of the Matrix. That was, that's what when he got arrested, he said the Matrix is trying to cancel me or something. I don't know what he said, but, I mean, at this point, I think we might live in a simulation. It's too wild. Things are happening that should never happen. Even in a good video game, shouldn't happen. We have a guy who obviously raped several 60 plus women, going on a comedy tour this year. It's 2023 this year. We have and I'm not saying people change. People can change. I think Cosby's changed. You're right. People can change. And that's good. He's going to come back on tour and he's going to be doing jokes about how he might have a 360 and he might do the whole thing dedicated to awareness for sexual assault. The whole thing, his whole tour might be dedicated to it. He might do a full 360. That would be interesting. Hey, no means no. That's what imagine Cosby's specials called No Means No. Oh my God. That would be so funny. Man, that's fucked up. All right. Let's continue with the news. So this is Tom Brady. Tom Brady posted this on his Instagram. It is a picture of his son on his lap, and he's kissing his son's neck very delicately. Hashtag Tom Brady is facing backlash after posting pictures of himself poolside while kissing his teenage boy, who was sitting on his lap. So let's look at these pictures in higher quality here. Let's see what's going on. Tom Brady pictures. Instagram. I mean, it's definitely a weird picture to post. Here we go. Tom Brady shares sweet poolside photos with son Ben after Christmas. He said, quote, said, love this boy. It is a weird picture. This is weird. I feel weird looking at it. I feel weird having searched for it. I feel weird that there's a 600-word article on this. I mean, yeah, can you love your son? Yes, you should. But should your son be wearing his swimsuit on your lap and you should be kissing his neck, the nape of his neck? No, Tom Brady, I don't think you should be doing that. In fact, I don't think that you should be doing a lot of the things that you do with your son. For instance, this video where you kissed your son for 5 minutes. Tom Brady kisses son. This might be some of the weirdest shit I've seen from Tom Brady.
Uncomfortably long.
It comes at a cost, bud. That was like a peck.
The second kiss shared by father and son prompted tweets from viewers using words like very disturbing and uncomfortably long. So we asked New Yorkers
She did a man on the street with
what they thought.
I'm a little uncomfortable with that.
I think at a certain age, it's like, okay, you can kiss him on the cheek, you can give him a hug, but Not in the mouth.
They should do a follow-up with all these same people and show him that photo of him kissing the back of his neck and say, hey, what do you think about Tom Brady now? Tom Brady might be the GOAT when it comes to football, but when it comes to weird tendencies with his son, yeah, he might also be the GOAT of that specific thing.
And not for that long.
Too long.
This guy, I love this guy. Too long, too damn long. You can't be kissing your son for that long.
Too long. Like romantic long.
He's laying there
like romantic long. Hell no. He's just like, oh, god damn, that's funny. Too long. Oh, hell no. Yeah. I wasn't trying. You know, African American do hate like gay shit too. Like white guys can be gay from time to time. Like you can say, dude, nice dick, or something as a joke, or yo man, nice feet, something like that as a joke in passing. But if you say that to like an African, they'll trash you so hard. It's funny. It's funny when it happens. It's happened to me a few times. But it's just like it's a different vibe. But they're, oh hell no, they're too long, romantic long. It's funny. All right, let's finish up here with some TikToks. If you're new here, we always go into the TikToks. These are first TikToks of the year, so let's check them out. So this guy just got fired from his job. I thought this was pretty interesting.
I worked in it.
Oh shit.
I worked in it.
So this guy's a code, he's like a code verifier for the airports.
You want a promotion? Don't raise any concerns. Tell your boss how perfect everything is.
He verifies the code.
And leave the mess for the next schmuck to deal with. Multiply that by hundreds of departments, times thousands of big companies in America. Doomsday. We're gonna wake up and no technology is gonna work. Power outages. Imagine the ripple effects of that. We can't even possibly predict all of them. It's gonna be fucking bad. No one's reviewing the code. I promise. It was my job and I got fired.
I thought that was pretty interesting because he makes a good point. I don't know the code space. I'm not a coder. I don't review code, but I do know that when it comes to the corporate world, no one wants to be liable for anything. So if you're like the head of a team that's writing the code, you have deadlines to make, and you're going to make those deadlines. If the deadline's shorter, which your boss will make the deadline shorter because they have to make their profits quarter over quarter, it's all about that bottom line. So as your deadlines get shorter and you have to do more work, the obvious thing is to cut corners. And as a team leader, you don't want to be the one who says, yeah, we have a big problem here, we need more time. Because then you're going to get replaced. There's 1,000 people that want your job. You're going to get replaced. So you don't tell people about issues. You don't tell people about the issues when reviewing code. No one's doing that. This guy, I don't know how reliable his source is, but obviously seems kind of like in a Joker mode right now. So he seems distressed. And I think that he might be right, that one day we wake up and the code is so spaghettified. Spaghetti code is when it's a video game term, which comes from when they try to update one thing and like fix a character. The code is so spaghetti like all the noodles are laying on top of each other. You can't pick up one noodle without like messing up the places of 15 other noodles. The code is so spaghetti because there's 80 people working on it, all at different times, different areas, working from remote. No one's communicating, stuff like that. The code is so it's such spaghetti code. You change one thing, and it has a ripple effect down the line that no one knows and no one's reviewing, so they just add things to fix it postscript. And the code has been doing that for so long, decades, that one day we could wake up and it's literally unfixable. No one knows where it went wrong. There's so much code to read through. No one can do it. Things will have to start from scratch. It's a possibility. I never thought of it until I saw that video. But here's a guy at the airport kind of talking about it.
Southwest sucks right now. There's absolutely no doubt about it, right?
This is an airport. Everyone's been waiting for. If you've seen the airports recently or heard the news, like, all of the airports are fucked right now, like hard fucked.
We're having a meltdown, sir. Our system is melted. This is the worst. I've been here 25 minutes. I'm sleeping. I've been long enough because we're all in this together. I don't want to see this any more than you.
So this guy talking is like someone who works at the airport. He's saying that this is fucked beyond anything he's seen for 25 years.
So let's talk about this flight right now. Everything is about time. Every time it's longer, things get worse. However, the crew, the FO, the first officer just timed out. So hold on, because we just went down there, we just found this all out. We have the first officer, a replacement on his way. Now, they told us it's 30 more minutes, but we're not going to tell you when that 30 minutes begins. The flight has not decided. The flight has not canceled. For the fact that they told us that we have another crew member assigned, that is the best news that we have. We have canceled over 2,500 flights.
Canceling 2,500 flights in one day.
Today, we have the crews. We know they're here. Unfortunately, we're at their mercy until they get somebody here. We're going by what we're being told. We're sharing that.
So I mean, airports are having an absolute meltdown. I'm interested to see the ripple effects of what will happen. Hopefully, it's not anything really bad. All right, let's finish up with a couple of these.
A handful of Crumble Cookies locations are in hot water today. The Department of Labor flagging 4 locations in Utah for violating child labor laws.
ABC4 Northern Utah, Cade Gardner joining us live from North Ogden tonight. Cade, tell us exactly where the feds are saying teen workers were mistreated.
11 locations are facing fines of $58,000.
Labor law violations. The Labor Department says Crumble Cookies is accused of letting minors as young as 14 work later than what is legally allowed. And
see, so Crumble Cookies facing allegations of whatever. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that if you're 14 and you want to grind, you should be allowed to. We need to reframe. Within this economy, you're not letting the kid work extra hours in this economy. Are you crazy? They need to pick up every dime they can get. They shouldn't be denied the American dream of pulling themselves up by the bootstrap and working extra hours as a 14-year-old. They shouldn't be denied that. You're going to take that dream away from them? Hell no. I will finish off with this. This kid got a cool toy for Christmas, and he made a banger of a song.
This song is called "Everybody Shut Up" by DJ Pac-Man.
I dedicate this to. This is how everyone should go into the new year.
3.
Thank you for listening.
In this world. Everybody shut up in this whole continent. Everybody shut up in this country. Everybody shut up in this city. Everybody shut up in this world. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up in this city. Everybody shut up in this state.
Everybody shut up in the state.
This song is called "Everybody Shut Up" by DJ Pac-Man.
Everybody shut up in the state.
Everybody shut up in this world. Everybody shut up in this whole continent. Everybody shut up in this country. Everybody shut up in this city.
Everybody shut up in the world.
Everybody shut up in this world.
Yeah.
Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up in this city.
Everyone shut up. Thank you for listening. Bye.